If I'm going to be choosing a life partner, a husband, a person to be having kids with, yeah, I'm going to be picky. Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron. So today I have another video in my truth series. I'm going to be talking about the truth about being picky, especially when it comes to being picky about dating. Basically, this video is for all the people who are like me and you're picky. I'm really picky about everything, like anything that's like of significance. I'm picky. If you're like me, then you can definitely relate to this video. This video can also be for the people who are maybe opposite of me and they're not very picky and they just kind of like go with the flow and they just kind of go with whatever and they don't understand people like us. So if you want to get more insight into how we are, how we operate, what we think, then this video can be for you too. So before we get into this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and turn on notifications to be notified whenever I post a new video. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So to give a little context, a little background to why I wanted to make this video, what inspired me to make this video, I have a lot of conversations with a lot of different people. Like I've had a lot of people ask me about my relationship status, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm done with college and with the fact that I have lost a lot of weight. So they're like wondering like, so like, do you have a boyfriend? Are you dating? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And of course I understand it's just curiosity. People are nosy. I get that. I don't mind if people ask. A lot of people ask because I guess I'm at that age where you would think I would have a boyfriend, but I don't. I guess that maybe that's the ideology behind it. I don't know. When people ask me if I'm dating or if I have a boyfriend and I say no, and then of course the next question that follows is, what do I like? What am I looking for? And then I tell them, I think the conversation starts turning towards like, oh, you're too picky, or that's too much, or you're not gonna find anybody like that. I've had literally two people in the same day. Two different people, two different conversations in the same day. Literally my mom's best friend, she told me, you're not gonna have kids, you're not gonna get married. And she was joking when she said it. I know she was joking. And later on that day, I was talking on the phone and she said, oh yeah, you're not gonna get married. Because it was the same conversation talking about how like type of things I would like in a guy. I literally got told twice in one day, oh, you're not gonna get married, you're not gonna have kids, it's not gonna happen. All because I guess I'm picky. I guess I have higher standards than most, I guess. I don't know. I know both of them, when they were saying that, they were kidding. I'm clear on that. Still an uncalled for and rude thing to say though. Me, like most women, I have like a list of things that I would want in a guy, and not a single thing on that list is like shallow or superficial or just over the top or extra. If I pulled out my list right now and I literally read everything that was on it, there's not a single person that would say that, oh, that's too much. Not a single person, I guarantee you. I bet all the money in the world on that nobody would say is too much. I don't have anything about looks on there. I don't care about that. Anybody that knows me knows that I say that all the time. I don't care about looks. The things that I would want is just like respect, honesty, funny, romantic, has a relationship with God, is family oriented, but stuff like that. And I know you're not gonna get every single thing on your list, because then that would mean that the person is perfect, and that person does not exist, and they're never gonna exist. Nobody's perfect. Everyone has things about them that are maybe weird or different. It comes to a point where people are making it seem like it's just way too much and I'm doing the most and I'm never gonna get married because I'm picky or because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Basically, I'm just really choosy because I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna be choosing a life partner, a husband, a person to be having kids with, yeah, I'm gonna be picky. I'm gonna be real choosy because most people aren't. That's how they end up marrying people, having babies with people that they don't really like, and people who are just really not good for them at the end of the day. So yeah, I want to be extremely choosy. If I'm not choosy or picky about anything else in my life, I'm gonna be picky about that. I'm gonna be picky about who I choose to allow to be my boyfriend and who I want to spend the rest of my life with and who I want to procreate with. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be picky. I'm not just gonna do that with any guy. Absolutely not. Because if you just do stuff like that with just any old person, that's where all the problems come in, because you two aren't meant for each other and it's not a healthy relationship because you weren't that choosy about who you were gonna spend your life with. You don't want that. It's way more beneficial to be picky, because when you're picky, you know that you're not gonna end up with someone who is just a terrible person for you, someone who's just awful and everything they do is just not meeting your standards of what you would want in a partner. So when you're out here just choosing any and everybody, you're doing yourself such a disservice, yourself and your life. So now I'm gonna talk about the pros about being being picky. So like I just said, everyone should be extremely picky. Not overboard where it's like, really girl? Really? You're so picky to the point where his hair color has to be like this, or eye color needs to be this, skin color needs to be that, nose can't be too big, your hands gotta look like this, you gotta walk like this. That's way too much. That's ridiculous. You have stuff like that, you're doing too much. Stuff that you know that you value about yourself, that you value in another person, you should be very clear, very aware of those things. If you know you bring a lot to the table, then you should expect someone else that you're dating and marrying to bring a lot to the table. I think especially as women, it's so crucial for us to know our worth and to have value within ourselves, because if we don't, that's when we start dating any and everybody, and that's when we have all the toxic relationships, the unhealthy relationships, the abusive relationships, and you only get to that point when you don't really love yourself or don't really value yourself. So when you are clear about how much you value yourself, you can never accept anything less from a partner than someone who completely loves you and values you as a person. When you figure this out, you're really better off with identifying who the right person for you is when you're picky and when you are clear about the type of person you want to be with. Also, when you don't really know your worth, you don't really love yourself that much, you kind of have like low self-esteem, and then when you're in that place, you kind of end up just dating anybody just to date them, dating someone just for the sake of dating, even though you know deep down that this person is like not a great fit for you, and you know this is not the person that you want to spend your life with and get married to. You continue to be around them just to say you have someone in your life, when it's way better to be by yourself than to just be with someone just for the sake of being with them. I think when you're a picky person and other people recognize that you're a picky person, I think a lot of people, they want you to settle for less, and they want you to just settle with being with whatever you can find, or just any old average person that is available to you, even if they're not the best of what you can be with. And I think that's because most people, they settle, or they settled, and they don't even realize it. They're with someone who they don't truly like. They might love them, but they don't really like them. They don't truly love spending time with them. They know that there is no like passion or real deep love in their relationship, because deep down they know that they chose the wrong person. They know that there's someone out there better that they could have chosen, but they've been together for 25 years, 40 years. They've been committed to this person for that long, and they're not going to back out now. So that person was as good as they could get, so they want you to settle for as good as you can get, even though you know that you deserve better, which is not fair, and that's not right. I think if you're a person who has like a laundry list of things that are like messed up about you, I don't think it's wrong if I don't want to date you. I don't think so. When you're a picky person, especially when you're picky in dating, very clear about what you want in a partner, you know for a fact that you're never ever going to settle for anything less than that. Us picky people know that we deserve someone who's just absolutely amazing. Not perfect, just someone who's just great and amazing, because we know that we're great and amazing. So we deserve that same energy in return. The upside to being picky is that you know that you're going to end up with a person who is the best person for you, and not settle for someone who isn't. Now I'm going to talk about the cons of being picky in dating and why it can be kind of tumultuous. When you're picky, it can make us more susceptible to being single for a longer period of time. If you really wanted to meet somebody, if you really wanted to go on a date, you just wanted to be in a relationship, probably not the most difficult thing in the world, because there are things like dating apps and stuff like that. Just wanted someone to just date, you could do that. But we're picky. That's like horrible to us. We don't want to do that. We don't want to just date anybody. Because we're so picky, it makes us very selective, and we're not just gonna go out with any old guy that asks us on a date. We have to like get to know you first, feel you out, see what you're about before we can say yes to something like that. And sometimes for like us picky people, it can be frustrating because you just feel like no one really ever measures up. Some people, you might get to the point where you feel like you met someone and they're really great. You find out like, okay, this person's crazy, or this person's extremely weird, or our values don't line up, and then you have to like drop them and you're back at square one, which is good because you don't want to end up someone who's crazy or anything like that. But when you keep going through a situation like that, it could be tedious. And what I've noticed about my conversations that I've had with people about me being picky, I think a lot of people, they try to project their negative experiences onto you. They think that just because something happened to them when they were dating whoever, they think that that's automatically going to happen to you. And it might, but it may not. And people like to say, you think like this, that's not going to work because a guy's going to do this. Or you're going to say this to a guy and he's going to do that. You're going to be left crying and disappointed. And yeah, that's a possibility, but just because that happened to you that doesn't mean that's gonna happen to me. And just because you're very selective and very picky, that doesn't mean you're immune from picking the wrong person. But I think you're less likely from picking the wrong person when you're very picky because you're more clear about what you want. I don't like when people try to project. Like, just because something happened to you, just because you experienced something negative, that doesn't mean I'm gonna do that. Don't try to be negative. Like, keep your negativity and negative energy over there. And so many people will say, well, me and my boyfriend had to go through this, and my boyfriend did this, or you're gonna have to put up with this because he's gonna do that, because you said this, so he's gonna do that. I don't want an extra credit project. Stop projecting. And obviously, I know every single person on this earth, especially every man, every woman, every man has a character flaw. Every single one of us has something about us that is less than favorable, is weird. Everyone has something like that about themselves. And it could be one thing, could be 2, 3, maybe even 4 things. But as long as those things aren't like big things, like huge character flaws, like lying, cheating, emotionally or verbally abusive, stuff like that. As long as it's not like real deep stuff like that, of course, there's things that you can work together on, things that you can look past. And I think people don't know that I understand that. I think people really truly believe that I want a man that's perfect and there's nothing wrong with him. Absolutely not. I'm not like 15. I don't think that. When I say I don't want extra credit project, I just don't want a guy who I gotta fix up a whole bunch, a guy that I have to raise, a guy that I have to like mold him and shape him into the man that I want him to be. Because yeah, I could do that. I could. How old is he though? Like, how old is he? He's like 19, then okay, maybe, because you can still teach them at that age. But if he's 29, no, I'm not doing that. You're grown. You're a grown man. I'm not gonna raise a grown man. Your mom should have did that. Your daddy really should have did that. And I'm not neither one of those. So one of the cons of being picky in dating is that it can make you like lose hope in finding that one true person that you are supposed to be with. Some picky people, it can even make them consider wanting to lower their standards because they're tired of looking around, they're tired of being single, they're lonely, and they want that person. So they just want someone to have in their life, so they're not going to be as picky, they're not going to be as choosy with who they decide to be with. That's really unfortunate, because I feel like I don't think anyone deserves to lower their standards if they're reasonable. Dating in general is just harder for us because we're so like clear and concise about what we want. So anybody that doesn't fall into that is just like, we don't even give them a chance. There's not a lot of good people out here. A lot of people these days, especially a lot of people my age, I feel like they're just liars and cheaters, and they want to talk to you and talk to 50 other girls on the side, or they'll make you their girlfriend and then they're talking to their ex behind your back. I've heard so many stories. It could be hard to like trust people for real. We really got to get to know you before we even consider going on a date with you or even consider being in a relationship with you, because we just got to know all about you first. Make sure that we're not jumping headfirst into this relationship when your intentions aren't the best. The whole relationship process is a lot more trickier for picky people, because when you meet someone and you're hanging out with them, you're talking to them, if you pay attention, people expose themselves very quickly. People will expose their toxic traits like right off the bat if you just listen and pay attention to them, like the things that they say, the things that they do, the way that they behave themselves, not just around you, but around other people. The more and more people you meet like that, you're kind of just left wondering, like, what's the point? Like, what even is the point? Us picky people, it can make them want to just give up on dating and relationships altogether because they're having such a hard time finding that person that they want to be with. I think the real con with being a picky person in dating is that you truly don't know if the right person like really actually and truly exists. I mean, you like to think in your head, yeah, they exist. Then you look at people who are 40, 50, 60 years old and they're still single because they could never find that right person. And it's because they're probably picky. Of course, you should never compare yourself to anybody because everybody's story and everybody's journey is different. But then when you see enough stories like that, it's like, oh, wow. Okay, that's kind of discouraging a little bit. There's so many like toxic and bad people out there, and pickings are really slim. You see all the good guys and they're like in relationships and stuff. So it's like, it's hard out here for us. The purpose of this video was to shed some light on being picky and dating, the pros, the cons. Everything happens in God's timing. You'll meet that person when it's the right time to meet that person, whenever God feels like we're ready to meet that person. Yeah, we're picky. Yeah, we're very choosy. We just know what we want, and we're not gonna be with someone who doesn't measure up to that like most people do. If you're a person who's picky, it's a good thing. It's not something you should feel bad about. It's not something you should feel that you need to lower your standards just to meet somebody, just to have somebody for the sake of having them. I don't think you should ever be like that. You don't have to tick every single box. A good majority of them, at least 70%, then I think that's the person. I'm a hopeful romantic. Real love exists. I've seen it. I've seen it so many times. All the people who know me in real life, stop trying to set me up with people. I don't want to date anybody that I know knows. I'll get to that point when I'm ready to get to that point. But until then, leave me alone. So that's in my video. Hope you guys liked it. So let me know down below, like, if you're a picky person, let me know your experience with that. Or if you're a person who's not very picky and you kind of just, you know, do whatever, let me know if you like gain some insight into us picky people. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and turn on notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Cameron_Martin_. I love you so much. You made it to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.